Now, Aucklanders are today mopping up after record rainfall saw roads submerged, homes and businesses flooded and cars stranded. The downpours yesterday also left behind a nasty discovery for a number of residents: raw sewage in their backyards, and nearly all of the region's beaches have been deemed unsafe to swim. Watercare's Chief Operations Officer joins us now, Mark Bourne. Mark, thanks very much for joining us. Why can't our services cope at the moment with this kind of rainfall?
Morena, yes, certainly yesterday's rainfall broke all of the records. We had more than a day, over the course of half a day, we had more than a month's rainfall, and at its peak we had 80 millimetres of rain in 1 hour. To give a bit of context, a normal storm event is about 20 millimetres of rain in an hour. With all that rainfall falling, surface flooding occurred, and because of that surface flooding, large amounts of stormwater entered the wastewater system. Now, most of that wastewater, stormwater would have entered the wastewater system through manholes like this down in the road here. We've got 160,000 manholes just like this right the way around the region, and these have allowed stormwater to enter the wastewater system where it normally wouldn't occur.
So what do we need to do to stop that happening in future? Is it a matter of being more prepared in terms of clearing those kinds of drains, or is it, I guess, the central interceptor which is being built but that's taking a long time? What do we need to do to avoid this in future?
Yeah, it's certainly just that huge amount of rainfall is extremely challenging to address that over a short period of time fall. So as we move forward, I guess the best thing to do is to prevent stormwater entering the wastewater system, because that'll prevent overflows from occurring. So the things that I'd be asking Aucklanders to do is check their downpipes to make sure they're connected to the stormwater system rather than the wastewater system. We've got crews out there today and all day yesterday that are cleaning up, so I'd like to just thank them for all their hard work. They worked extremely long hours yesterday and into the evening cleaning up, and they'll be carrying on undertaking that task again today. Where we are standing this morning, it's nice and dry, but yesterday there was over 300 millimetres of water sitting in the road where we're standing this morning.
Mark, do you think it's acceptable that even after a significant rain event, which doesn't happen all the time, but do you think it's acceptable that we're at a position where our facilities can't cope and we actually just can't even go swimming at our beaches straight after a rainfall like that?
Well, I think that rainfall, as I said earlier, it broke all of the records. So, systems just aren't designed to cater for extreme events like this. Under a normal rainfall event, we don't see the same level of overflows that occurred yesterday. It's purely just down to that volume of rain over such a short period of time.
Are we investing enough in the infrastructure to be able to cope with that in the future?
$10.9 billion in the wastewater system over the next 10 years, which will reduce the amount of overflows and improve the quality of wastewater that's treated and released to the environment.
Okay, the central interceptor is part of that plan, I guess, but there have been delays. COVID has been part of that, but also staffing issues. How desperately do we need that to be able to get up and running and cope with the greater pressure, I guess, on the city?
Yeah, the Central Interceptor is certainly one of the major projects. It's our largest infrastructure investment ever in the Auckland region in terms of a wastewater system. But there are many other projects also being undertaken, some large and some very, very small. So in this area we're undertaking rehabilitation of local sewers. We're checking for cracked and broken pipes. So Central Interceptor is certainly one of the major projects, but there are very, very many other projects that happen every day throughout the Tamaki Makaurau to improve the quality of wastewater and largely to just improve the environment.
It is a major project though, and the delays have no doubt meant ballooning costs. What kind of impact has it had on the budget? How much more has it cost?
I don't have any information regarding the detail of the central interceptor. My role at Watercare, I run our water and wastewater system. So in that capacity, we look after some 9,000 kilometres of sewers around the Auckland region and about 8,000 kilometres of water pipelines around the Auckland region, including all of the water and wastewater treatment plants.
Watercare Chief Operations Officer Mark Bourne. Mark, thanks very much for joining us.